Right, this will be a tutorial on how to swap blades on the Stander X, and it will be similar to Grandstands, Stander I, or really any other mower that we have or use, with a exception for the fixed deck mowers, which they have a different setup. If it's an adjustable deck mower, it will likely be very similar to this. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get this. It is the Jungle Jack. The Jungle Jack has a swivel hook. This hook just needs to be, as you can see, it swivels. That hook needs to be inside of the deck lip. These lips on the deck, it just needs to be inside that. On the Stander X, it works just fine right here in the middle. Sometimes you have to get it kind of close. Now, I'm holding a phone and doing this at the same time, so it is a little difficult, but typically if you have two hands, it's not so bad. So you put your hand and hook it. There it is, it's hooked. Keep the tension on it, so that way the hook doesn't fall down. Now you've got tension. You can put your foot on, what I like to do is I put it right here. With my foot, I'll pull back on the Jungle Jack. Now I'm only using one hand, but here we go. There it is. And it will just be held right there. It is secure. It is not moving. Very secure. Now, if you have in a spot where it doesn't feel secure, you might want to move it. Having it as centered as possible is a good idea. Do not hook it on the sides, and should be good there. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab the impact. This is the impact, DeWalt impact. Setting 3, oftentimes, to remove the blades, and a 15/16 inch socket. We're going to get underneath here, show you what it looks like. So, on the 52-inch decks, you're going to have 3 blades. So one over there, one in the middle, one here. They're staggered. Put your 15/16s on it. That's it. Now you've successfully removed a blade. Depending on the blade style, type, mower type, a lot of different things, you're going to have different situations here. This is a washer. There's only one. Make sure you remember that. On the top side of the blade, you have the blade, and you have the bolt with another washer. So washer on top, washer on bottom. This washer is much different. It's thinner. It is just to have a more dispersed pressure point for the bottom side of that blade. This one is actually a spacer. It's a 1/4 inch. Every one of these is a 1/4 inch. You'll see these a lot on different mowers. It's a 1/4 inch. If you don't have this, your blades are going to cut at different heights. So you need that on there. Now, if you don't have it on there, then don't have one on there. So if you have 3 blades and only 2 of them have it, well, your best bet at that point is either find another washer or take the other 2 off. At least then you'll be cutting the same height. Optimally, you'd want to have all the same number of washers on there. And in this case, we will have 1 on each one. So, if you haven't already, you would sharpen your blade with our RBG sharpener. I have already sharpened a set of mulching blades. So we're going to go ahead and grab a set of mulching blades. And here they are. They are the same. And this one is sharp. So we're going to go ahead and swap it. Now, putting it back on is obviously just the reverse of when you took it off. The only difference is going to be you're going to put it on not as tight as it came off. We're not going to use the same settings. So what I like to do, take my bolt, my washer, make sure that your blade has the fins or In this case, these are mulching blades, so they're gonna have cutters here. They're gonna chop the blades up for the grass more. But if you have like a high lift blade, either way, we want the curve of the lift to be on the upside. We want it to sit like that on the deck. You do not want to have it this way. That would not do you any good. You would not have any lift, and you would not be cutting it all right. So that's how you're gonna have that. I'll put my bolt through there, make sure my washer's on the bottom. I'll put my spacer on there, just like that. Now, I'm doing all of this with one hand. So if I can do it with one hand, you will definitely be able to do it too. If you didn't see, I pulled any of the gunk that was around this off. I guess I got a little bit left, not a whole lot. It's a good idea to get that out of there if you have any. That thing is always happens when you hit different stuff. So I put it back in here, trying to keep it straight, and by hand, with it straight on there, there we go, in theory, get it started by hand. There we go. Now it started by hand, it should start easy by hand, so there it is, it's just on there by hand. That's it. Now that you have it by hand, you're gonna grab your impact. The key here is putting it on setting 1. We do not want it on setting 3. You know what? Let's go 2. But just be careful. It's 1 or 2. 1, you do run the risk of it sometimes not being tight enough. You never want to go 3. Never go 3 when putting back on. Too tight. Get your in there. Once you get it there, just hammer down with the setting on 2. All right, we are on there. And you're gonna repeat that process for all 3 blades. A lot of times I'll take all 3 blades off first and then swap them all one by one, putting it back on. So that way I'm not up and down, up and down, up and down. I can just stay down, get it all done, and so on and so forth. That process will be the same for all of your mowers in general. 15/16 bolt. So you have a 15/16 socket on your impact, using setting 3 to take off, setting 2 to put back on. Make sure your lift is lifting up. The blade sits like that, not like that. That would do you no good. That's very important. Make sure you put it back the exact way it came apart. Once you have done that, you'll be able to just drop your mower with the jungle jack, and you are ready to mow. And that is it.